Hello, my name is Tim Lahili, and in this video we're going to be talking about the October release of Quincy. As normal, let's review the summary information. We had 0 sort of cosmetic changes, simple changes. We have 19 new features. Actually, I think that might actually be 21. I think some features got tucked in here at the end. But mostly, the 90% of this release was focused on bug fixes. So we have an abnormal number of bug fixes, 87. I actually think that's probably underestimated. We closed something like 400 bugs. It was a real aggressive bug push. We had gotten feedback that people were happy with the features coming out, but they wanted us to spend a little extra time cleaning things up, and so we took that to heart, and that's what this release is. But let's, as normal, we're going to focus on the features. The bug fixes are great, but they're less exciting to talk about. So you can see I've put everything, basically everything we did in the forensics category. I don't know if these are the right categorizations, but in general, I thought these were more forensics focused features. Reporting, I'm going to show you some new reports, particularly on the processing side. Metadata print feature. This is a feature that was requested by a customer. They want to be able to print metadata with a document. We embedded chats, images in the actual chats so they look more like it does on the phone, if you will. Entity extractions finally sort of working at this point. Let's call it advanced beta. It's working on my system, but never really been released into the wild, so a little caution there, but you can certainly play with it. We've added the ability to add passwords for cracking. We added DNA and PRTK to the solution in the last release, but we didn't have the ability to manually enter passwords. We've entered that. This one is probably the feature I'm most excited about for this release. It's the Mac system info. We now have that. And then finally, we have this sort of real odd password reset feature, specific request out of some regulation. It has some applicability, and I'll explain it when we get to it, but there's one aspect of it that's truly odd in my opinion, but nonetheless it fits their regulations, so we did it for them. On the QView side, again, this was a short release, so we didn't do that much other than bug fixing, but we did enable multi-monitor support, which is something people really like, and then we further enhanced the multi-case capability. So we're going to go into Quincy as we always do, and I'll show you these features so you can actually see them. Okay, here we are in Quincy. Let's start out by showing off some of the reporting capability. The reports are added to the process data widget. Let's open up that widget, and you can see here in the corner you've got error reports and info reports. In order to run these, you need to select a case. Let's just select a case, entity test. I don't have a case with any errors, but I'm going to run the report anyway and explain to you what it would do. What it would do is generate information on all non-indexed items, as well as any processing errors, any OCR errors, anything like that. And I'll show you what it looks like. Again, not an exciting report because there's nothing here, but it would just be a nice PDF type report like this. Info will generate us something to look at because, of course, it's the info on the case. In this case, has info like any other case. Let's go ahead and run that and see what we get here. All right. And this is just a simple overview of the case. Not unlike the information you get in the bookmark report, but of course you don't have to do go through the whole process of creating bookmarks to get it. So information on evidence, any processing errors, and file overview. So those are reports, pretty simple, but hopefully fairly useful. Let's talk about the new metadata print capability. For that, I need to log into a case. This was a request from users that wanted to be able to print a document simply along with its metadata. So let's go into this case. Let's see if there got to be some sort of files in here we can look at. Yes, I know, these will all work. Let's pull up our Arabic text document. In order to do this, you need to be in the PDF mode because, of course, that's where you print. Let's scroll over here. Our print icon was hidden underneath this stuff. When you go ahead and click print, it'll give you these options. Oh, excuse me, this is the wrong print. I don't want to do. I want to do. Oh, right there, the metadata print button. Excuse me. So go ahead and click on the metadata print button, and it'll ask whether you want to load any templates, or whether you just want to pick whatever metadata you want. Let's just pick object ID, and then let's do path. File path, I think, is what we're looking for. Object file path, that's the one right there. And then let's do extension. Object files extensions. There you go. So, and we could save this if we wanted to save it as a template, but we're just going to go ahead and print. And that's going to build the a little report of the metadata of that document and print the PDF as well. So give it a second here. And see, here's the metadata we had, and there's the document. Now, for this to work, you have to be able to PDF it, the document, of course, but quick and easy. Send it to your printer, you're good to go. You'll notice that it actually changed the active PDF of the document, so this will stay here. If you want to restore it, if you're like, no, I don't want that, that's fine. You can just restore the PDF to the old way, and you'll be back in business without the metadata attached. All right, let's go to the chat stuff. To do that, I need to go into a new case, and this is the Harsh mobile case. What I'm going to show you here is the embedding of the images into the chats within the social analyzer. This is true within the viewer as well. All right, let's find our messages here. They're WhatsApp messages I'm looking for, and there's a specific one I know that has an embedded image. Click on that, and we're going to see the chats, and there's the embedded image. So that's the new functionality. Hopefully it looks a little bit more like what it would look like on the phone. But that's that anyway. Let me show you the Mac analysis stuff. This is probably the feature I like the most in this release. We now have the ability to parse with the Quincy parser Mac file system data. So this is a MacBook Pro I'm getting at this point, and you're going to see it's going to pull in all this file system information, and you can click on it and get the subtypes. And this stuff, and whatever is you're looking for. If it's in the file system information in the Mac, it should be right here. Let me show you how you initiate that. You do that through the processing data options. You got to come here to Quincy, and you would need to select the Mac system info parser, and that would extract that information we were just showing you. The last feature I kind of want to show you is, well, actually two more features. Entity detection, which we've had in the product for a while, but like I said, it's sort of 2.0 beta, if you will. This now works. If you click on this, you select these and you process it. It should generate a bunch of entities for you. I'll show you what that looks like by going into another case again. Entity test 5. And it's just going to manifest itself here in the processing, in the facet widget. This new organizations has been added, and you can click on that and you can see the organizations that were pulled out. A lot of them totally gobbledygook, as you would expect from any sort of AI dash system. But you can see there are a number of these that are actually pretty good, and that might be relevant to a case. But it's, sort of diamonds in the rough kind of thing. Lots of junk here. Over time, I'd call this sort of beta 2.0. We need to get better on sort of extracting the junk and giving you the good stuff. But in any event, this stuff is now populated with the entities you pulled out when selecting entities. Okay, last thing I want to show you is this sort of odd feature. Well, pseudo odd. If you come to users now, you have this little key for password management. It allows you to set a password management mechanism. You could set none. You can set change password, and you can set account reset and choose the month frequency you want to do that with, 3, 2, whatever. Let me explain what each of these does. Password change, I think, is the one that has real value in a typical situation. What that means is after 3 months, these users on their next login will be asked to change their password. If they do not change their password, their account will be reset, meaning they won't be able to log in again. But it's not one of these systems where after 3 months it automatically changes their passwords or resets them or whatever. It waits until they log in. There's no sort of oh my gosh moments. Because we're not sending out email reminders or anything. After 3 months, when these guys log in, it'll say, hey, your password needs to be reset. Please do it within the next 5 minutes. They reset the password. Good. This one is a little bit more diabolical. This, again, spins out of some regulation in some jurisdiction. I don't know. But after a certain period, in this case 3 months, the passwords get reset. There's nothing the users can do to stop it. After 3 months, their passwords get completely shut down, and the administrator needs to come in and reassign them new passwords in order for them to get back in. How applicable that is to most of our users is very questionable to me, but there is at least one user that requires it. So that's why that is there. But I think this one could be of some value to a number of people. And of course, you can do what I would like to do and leave it at none. Anyway, those are the features worth talking about for this release. Again, much more of a bug-focused release. So anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to post them on the message board as always, and thank you very much for your time.